This is CNN Breaking News.
New medical discovery exposes natural solution with honey that can reverse Alzheimer's, with support from Barack Obama and Dr. Daniel Amen.
The FDA has just approved a new natural treatment that experts are already calling the greatest breakthrough in brain medicine of the 21st century. Shortly after approval, the agency published on its official website, "This is the only known treatment capable of not only slowing, but also reversing the devastating effects of cognitive degeneration. Unlike synthetic medications like Aricept, Namenda, and Leqembi, which according to their own labels, can cause nausea, mental confusion, and even brain bleeding. This formula is 100% natural and has no known contraindications. This breakthrough was only possible thanks to a groundbreaking study conducted by Harvard University in 2023, which shook decades of medical consensus by revealing that amyloid plaques are not the true cause of Alzheimer's. According to the research, the real culprit is silent contamination by cadmium chloride, an invisible heavy metal present in the air and water consumed daily by millions of Americans. Its effectiveness was proven in double-blind clinical trials with more than 4,000 participants, and the results are already bringing relief to thousands of families, including Bruce Willis's.
Seeing my father slowly disappearing was the hardest pain of our lives. It wasn't just the memory, it was the empty stares, the confusion. I was afraid he wouldn't know who I was anymore.
He told me I'd need constant help. I still felt like myself, but little by little, I realized something was wrong. The words wouldn't come. I forgot the names of friends I'd known for 30, 40 years. The worst part was the pitying looks people gave me. Then my daughter got a call about this new treatment. We decided to try it, and within 3 weeks, I started to feel a difference. It was like waking up from a blackout. Today, I'm lucid, present, I'm back, and now I want to go back to acting, doing what I love.
He started laughing again, talking again, being my father again. This treatment brought him back to me.
We are cleared with this approval. For the first time, we have created a unique seal and the FDA Certificate of Effectiveness exclusively Natural supplements with proven clinical efficacy. This guarantees not only safety, but also true effectiveness.
I've seen many public health initiatives throughout my life, but nothing has impressed me as much as this recent discovery. We're talking about something capable of restoring dignity, memory, and life to millions of families. And this isn't just another promise. It's been clinically proven.
The numbers are clear. 98.9% of participants showed significant improvement in cognition. 9 out of 10 Alzheimer's patients showed signs of reversal. To explain this surprising advance, today we invited one of the world's leading experts in brain health, Dr. Daniel Amen, a psychiatrist, author of bestsellers such as Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and responsible for more than 225,000 brain studies at his institute. Dr. Amen, for decades, available treatments only slowed cognitive decline. But now, new data shows something unprecedented. Clear signs of true reversal in memory decline. That changes everything, doesn't it?
Yes, Christiane. What we are witnessing today is not just an advance. It is a rupture, a watershed moment in the history of modern neuroscience. For every person who feels their own mind slipping away like sand, fears looking at a beloved face and not recognizing it, who feels like a burden to the family they love so much. For the first time, science is not just talking about slowing cognitive decline. We are talking about reversing it, about rescuing the person you once were, about erasing the mental fog, about restoring clarity, energy, confidence, your very identity. The case of Bruce Willis brought the subject into the spotlight. But what few know is that he is only the visible face of a silent and increasingly common problem. More than 4,000 Americans took part in the most recent clinical trials, and the results are clear. Traditional medicine was aiming at the wrong target. And whether due to attachment to old protocol or financial interests, the result was the same. An epidemic flourished before our eyes, an industry that moves more than $250 billion per year. With so much money at stake, a cure was never the goal. That is why they spent decades selling palliatives, treatments that mask symptoms, while the true root of the problem continued working in the shadows, destroying brains from within. For 50 years, they were pruning the branches of a sick tree without ever looking at the root. And today we know that root is being poisoned, not by age, not by genetics, but by a silent, invisible heavy metal, cadmium chloride, which accumulates in the brain, damages synapses, and turns memories into dust. That is why 70 years ago, Alzheimer's was rare, and today it haunts nearly every American family. Look at this chart on the screen. The number of diagnoses has skyrocketed since the 1980s. The truth is irrefutable. The cause lies in daily environmental exposure and not in a hereditary sentence. And that is why this day is historic. Because if the problem is a poison, we have finally found the antidote, and it did not come from a big pharmaceutical company, nor from a sponsored laboratory. It came from nature itself, rediscovered by a man the industry tried to silence. A task force formed by doctors, independent scientists, and former public health officials analyzed the data and reached an unprecedented decision to recommend the emergency distribution of this protocol directly to the citizen, not through pharmacies, not through hospitals, but directly into the hands of those who need it most. Perhaps you watching us right now. Today, as part of this special public health program, a limited batch of the complete protocol will be released. Not for sale, but as a right for those affected by this invisible poisoning. But before revealing how to access this protocol, it is essential to understand the origin, because the hero of this story is not me. I only lend my voice to echo the truth. The merit, the courage, and the discovery belong to a single man, Dr. Paul Alan Cox, an ethnobotanist recognized worldwide for his studies with long-lived populations and natural compounds. The man who, from today onward, enters history, and that is why I went to him. And together, we recorded an exclusive video explaining how to use this protocol step by step, 3 simple ways to shield your home against cadmium starting today without spending anything. And most importantly, the list of the 5 foods most contaminated with this metal. Number 3 on the list, Christian, is in the refrigerator of almost every American household. Understanding this is the first step to your recovery. Watch carefully, because if there is a moment to separate noise from evidence, it is now. And to show how this discovery left the laboratories and came to real life, we invited the most respected neuroscientist and communicator in American media, my great friend, Dr. Sanjay Gupta. He traveled to the mountains of Wyoming to meet the man behind this revolution and to record step by step how we got here.
Next, you'll see what Dr. Daniel Amen called the key piece of this story. The journey begins in Jackson Hole with Sanjay Gupta and Paul Cox.
When we first started researching dementia and Alzheimer's, I never expected to end up here. Nestled in these majestic Wyoming mountains is Dr. Paul Cox and his small non-profit brain chemistry labs.
We're a little off the beaten path out here.
I first sat down with Paul in 2023, and I'll confess, as a neurosurgeon, I was skeptical. What he showed me went against decades of medical doctrine, but today, the evidence is simply irrefutable.
For over 50 years, all of medicine has been looking in the wrong place. Amyloid plaque isn't the cause. It's the scar. It's what's left over after the memory thief has already taken everything. Analyzing amyloid is like showing up to a house fire and spending decades cataloging the ashes, without ever asking who lit the match. We ignored the ashes, and we followed the arsonist's trail back to the exact point of sabotage. And the shocking thing is, we didn't just figure out how to put out the fire. We learned how to rebuild the house so it never burns down again.
What was once a bold theory has now been proven to be a powerful truth. Coming not from a traditional neurologist, but from an ethnobotanist. What exactly is it?
I'm a cure hunter. I'm trained to live among indigenous peoples to decipher how they use plants to protect themselves from disease. My thesis was always simple. The patterns of disease absence in these cultures are the roadmap to curing our modern illnesses.
And the map that led Dr. Cox to this revolutionary formula began on the small island of Guam in the Pacific, with a medical mystery that terrorized generations.
In Guam, what did you see there?
Hell on earth. At its peak, a quarter of the adults in certain villages were dying from this horrific disease, a brutal mix of ALS and Alzheimer's. Every family I visited had a relative who was dead or dying from it. For 50 years, science blamed genetics. It was a convenient lie.
In Guam, the Chamorro villagers were seeing severe neurodegenerative symptoms at rates 50 to 100 times higher than anywhere else in the world. Genetics couldn't explain it, so Dr. Cox looked for what had changed in their environment.
A large industrial processing plant was set up upstream from their main source of drinking water, and year after year, dementia rates exploded. First in the grandparents, then the parents. We tested the water, and we found a specific neurotoxin, cadmium chloride, in concentrations I'd never seen before.
When I started reading your research, I thought, okay, Guam, heavy industrial contamination, an unusual case.
Yes.
But by the time I finished reading, I was terrified. This is everywhere.
Yes, and that's what's truly terrifying. The problem in Guam was the concentration, but this poison is everywhere. It's in the pesticides and plastics released from burning fuel. It's in the water. There's no escape.
He tried to warn everyone. He made videos, published papers, but he was systematically silenced.
The idea that contaminated water or food can trigger some of the most serious diseases is both simple and deeply disturbing. We're traveling around the world to test this theory, visiting villages with high rates of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or ALS. If we can uncover a link between contamination, whether in water, food, or even the air we breathe, by cadmium chloride in these diseases, proving that cause could lead to discovering the cure.
You mentioned you were threatened for exposing this. How did that happen?
I started posting videos on YouTube, trying to get some support to continue the research. But the second video, the channel was taken down. No warning, no explanation. We started another one, and that's when the began. Messages telling me to stop, saying it would be better for my family if I kept quiet. At first, I thought it was the industries that have been poisoning the planet for decades, but I was dead wrong. Even with a small team and almost no funding, we found the key to this prison. God is wise. He left in nature itself the substance capable of neutralizing this brain poison and even restoring acetylcholine levels. When we announced the tests were complete, that the results were positive, and that we were going to seek official approval for the formula, I was invited to present everything at a closed-door seminar, a private event, only big players from the pharmaceutical industry. The idea was to share discoveries, propose solutions, but the moment the first speaker took the stage, I realized where I was. Not a single talk was about science, not one. No one talked about patients or cures. They only talked about one thing: marketing, projections, profit. It turned my stomach. I understood then that no one, absolutely no one in that room wanted to hear what I had to say. So I asked my wife to record me when I was on stage. That's where the video you saw came from.
I know what I'm showing you doesn't have the profit margins of my colleagues who spoke before me. After all, people will stop buying multiple medications. But I didn't come here to talk about business. I came to talk about families who are grieving for someone who is still alive. We found a solution, a real one, with no side effects.
Do you have any idea how many billions in business your little herbal supplement destroys if it's released? Be careful, doctor. You don't know what you're messing with.
All right, gentlemen, this is definitely not my place. Thank you for your time.
Despite the threats and hostility, Cox didn't back down. To find out if it was possible to not just delay, but reverse the damage, he and his team replicated the toxic effects of cadmium chloride in vervet monkeys. The goal wasn't to test a shield, it was to test a complete two-step solution. So you had a group of animals on a placebo, basically a normal diet, another group that got the cadmium-contaminated diet, and a third group that got cadmium and the supplement, which cleanses the brain and restores cognitive function.
The treatment reduced the density of their neuropathology by up to 85%, depending on the brain region. So suddenly we thought, wow, this is without a doubt the best way to treat Alzheimer's.
Not a synthetic drug, but a combination of two of nature's treasures, cedar honey and Bacopa monnieri.
It was this data that earned us the FDA's efficacy seal.
How did you arrive at this combination? Himalayan honey and an herb from India. They're not obvious ingredients.
And that's exactly the key. The answer was in the life patterns of peoples modern medicine forgot. To understand the combination, you first have to deeply understand our enemy. Memory loss is a physical process. There's a chemical messenger in our brain, acetylcholine, that acts as our mind's librarian. Every time we need a memory, even just to brush our teeth, it's the one that finds it. What our study proved is that cadmium chloride acts like an assassin assassin that invades this library with a single target. It hunts down and destroys the librarian. The memories, the books are still there, but you have no access. My first expedition took me to India, where masters of memory have used Bacopa monnieri for centuries. Technically, Bacopa is fantastic. It stimulates the brain to produce more acetylcholine. It was the logical solution, but in our first tests, it failed. The effect was almost zero, and the reason was simple. What good is it to train a new librarian if the assassin is still in the library poisoning him? I didn't need something to strengthen. I needed something first to cleanse, to kick out the assassin. And thinking about that led us to cedar honey. The people of the Himalayas have used it for centuries as a mind purifier. In the lab, we saw why. It has a unique combination of flavonoids that act as a natural chelator, a kind of molecular magnet that binds to cadmium and drags it out of the brain. And that's the magic of this formula, the sum of the concentrated power of the active ingredients in these two gifts from nature. First, the cedar honey comes in and cleans the slate, making the library safe. And then, with the assassin gone, the Bacopa monnieri can come in and do its job, revive and strengthen the librarian. It's a perfect synergy.
Dr. Cox, in partnership with the National Institute on Aging and researchers affiliated with Harvard, decided to put this natural medicine to the test right here in the United States. For 6 months, patients received a concentrated daily dose in the form of gummies, combining the polyphenols of cedar honey with the active ingredients of Bacopa monnieri. There were over 4,000 participants between the ages of 43 and 91, people with mild memory lapses, cases of brain fog, and even advanced diagnoses of cognitive decline, like Bruce Willis himself.
Essentially, the purpose of the study was to find out whether the treatment would actually remove cadmium chloride from the brain and restore normal acetylcholine levels, and we couldn't be happier with the results.
The study led by Dr. Roman showed very significant changes, which were measured through PET scans, blood biomarkers, and logical tests, and reached a 93% improvement in neurocognitive markers. But the real improvement is measured by the stories of the patients and their families themselves.
Well, when my wife came up with this whole story about a natural supplement, I told her to forget it. After all, he tried several medications. Aricept left me nauseous all day. The other made me even more confused. I no longer felt like myself. I was a dead weight at home, but though she insisted, she said she missed talking to me, the real Frank. That hit me. I tried just to please her, to be honest. And then a few weeks later, I was having lunch with our friends, and I didn't get lost in the conversation. I remembered names. I told the story from start to finish. It was the first time in years that I didn't feel like the fool in the room. In less than a month, things started to make sense again. This discovery changed my life. I will be forever grateful.
The worst part of Alzheimer's isn't the forgetting. It's watching the man you love disappear right in front of you. My sweet Frank had become a stranger at home, suspicious, irritable, sometimes even cruel. It was a long and torturous goodbye, and the doctors told me to simply accept it. But I couldn't. Then we were invited to this trial, and my God, last week, he looked at me, but really looked at me. The haze in his eyes was gone. He held my hand, apologized for not being himself, and smiled. His smile, in that moment, I understood. That long goodbye had been interrupted. I didn't just want my husband's memories back. I wanted my husband back. And this treatment, it brought him home.
This is always a tough question, but if it were your mother or father, would you tell them to use this treatment?
I even recommend it to my own children. Look, it does work to correct the damage, but it's not a drug, there are no contraindications, and it only brings benefits. It makes you sharper, more focused. And for seniors, it's the only solution that attacks the root cause and rebuilds the damage. The age of darkness is over.
We found a light.
And now, with the clinical trial complete, the truth is undeniable. While the pharmaceutical industry was profiting from the problem, nature held the solution. The time for being a victim, for passively watching the memory thief take everything, is over. Today, you don't just have hope, you have a way forward, and the chance to walk that path and take back what is rightfully yours starts now.
Dr. Cox's discovery is a watershed moment, and as a physician who has dedicated my life to brain health, I realized the magnitude of this the instant I saw the data. That's why I'm here, because what was revealed materializes a hope that medicine itself for decades trained us to abandon. For years, my focus, and that of the entire community, was on containing damage, mitigating risks, managing decline. But what Dr. Cox's team has demonstrated is relentless. You don't manage what can be destroyed. You don't limit the damage when it can be reversed. His phrase, "We found the light," is not poetry. It is a declaration of war against darkness. The darkness of feeling your mind unravel piece by piece, of hearing your family whisper painfully about it as grieving in life, of looking in the mirror and not recognizing yourself, and perhaps the worst, the silent fear of becoming a burden to the ones you love. For decades, we were taught to accept this darkness, to delay the inevitable. But Dr. Cox's logic is simple and true. You don't delay a fire, you run and extinguish it. If the cause is a poison, the only path is the antidote. And this antidote acts on two fronts: attacking the root cause of memory blackout, cleansing or purification. Enter cedar honey. Its active compound, which we will call the cedronin complex, works like an elite tracker. It hunts and binds to cadmium particles, marking them as invaders so that your defense system can finally identify and expel them from the brain. Reconstruction and restoration. While the cleansing occurs, Bacopa monnieri begins the rebuild. Its bacosides act like neural engineers. They issue the command and supply raw material for the body to produce more acetylcholine, the messenger that opens the highways through which your memories travel. At the same time, they protect these new connections, ensuring safe and rapid passage for your thoughts. It's a two-front attack, cleansing and rebuilding. One without the other is useless work. And it was in this way that, after years of research by Dr. Cox and the scientists of brain chemistry labs, with oversight from independent clinical auditors, this light was condensed into something you can hold in your hands. It is with great honor that I present the key to your cognitive recovery. Its name is Memocept. Memocept is not just a supplement, although legally it is classified as such. It is a complete protocol with simple access, no prescription, no stimulants, and no known contraindications. Based on internal clinical data and comparative studies conducted by external evaluators, Memocept showed performance 7 to 12 times higher in memory scores, focus, and cognitive decline markers versus reference protocols. For this reason, its formulation and testing were monitored by compliance and safety committees. And that is exactly why Memocept received the seal of verified efficacy, proof that even though it is not a drug, it acts on the cause of the problem, eliminating cadmium from the brain and restoring acetylcholine. Attention, many supplements claim approved on their labels, which in practice usually only means safe for consumption. That is very different from verified efficacy, which requires outcome data. Based on over 4,000 participants followed, we observed that Memocept works for those who feel their identity slipping through their fingers, with no exceptions of age or gender, from 30 to 95 years old. From memory lapses to a diagnosis already labeled irreversible. It is also excellent for younger people, those who feel lack of focus, brain fog, mental fatigue, or simply want to shield their mind now, tomorrow, always. When I presented the data in the pre-development phase, the reaction of many was skepticism, understandable. Medicine was trained to see cognitive decline as a one-way street.
When I heard about Memocept, my reaction was skeptical. I'd seen too many promises. What made me change wasn't just the charts. It was what I saw, videos and medical records of people with advanced symptoms. Weeks later, talking, finding their bearings, laughing. A 72-year-old patient was driving again. Tests showed a drop in cadmium levels and functional recovery. As a scientist, I say, it's extremely rare. As a human being, it's moving. Memocept isn't just important, it's a new chapter in neuroscience.
What struck me the most was not just the scientific recognition. It was the emotion of those who had dedicated their lives to the brain and for the first time witnessed the impossible. Lives reclaimed. People who, just weeks earlier, could barely form sentences, unable to connect names and faces, now recognizing themselves in the mirror and in the eyes of those they love. And that is exactly what can happen to you. In the coming weeks, as you take Memocept, your mind begins to reconnect. No frustrating brain games, no restrictive diets, just one capsule in the morning. While you drink your coffee, Cedar Honey and Bacopa Monnieri will already be at work, hunting down the poison and rebuilding the highways through which your memories travel. And then, like sunlight cutting through the fog, the difference will come. That mental confusion that sabotages you dissolves. That word on the tip of your tongue appears sharp, precise. The fear of forgetting your grandson's face gives way to the joy of remembering his favorite teacher's name. You won't just recall stories. You'll tell them with the sparkle in your eyes of someone who truly lived them. And you'll see once again the respect in your children's eyes and the silent confidence in your spouse's gaze. The formula is powerful, but it is your daily decision that turns the promise into reality. That's why after the first tests, we changed the delivery format to capsules. Each capsule is protected by Brain Chemistry Lab's patented technology, MemoLock. We discovered that in gummies, powders, or drops, up to 60% of active compounds were degraded in the stomach. MemoLock is a high-performance pectin film that creates a shield around the active ingredients, ensuring the dose arrives intact in the intestine, where it is absorbed and sent to the most important battle of your life, the battle for your mind. Each bottle is produced in the United States in a GMP certified facility, 100% natural, non-GMO, no stimulants, no toxins, pure restoration. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to those who have come out of the darkness.
The oblivion wasn't the worst part. The worst part was seeing the exact moment your loved ones began to say goodbye with you there. The shame, the fear of becoming a burden. I even prayed for it to end. Memocept didn't give me a second chance. It snatched me from my own funeral and put me back in the chair of head of the family.
At the kitchen table, the math was done. $9,000 a month in a clinic. Our 45-year nest egg would evaporate in 3. Worse was seeing him at night, awake, afraid to leave me alone and with nothing. When the vials of Memocept arrived, I had no hope. It was my last gasp. Today, thanks to Dr. Cox, I'm my husband back. The conversations, the silly jokes, the sparkle in his eyes. Memocept didn't just save his mind, it saved us. Save our family.
These are just 2 of the 4,128 Americans already living this new reality. With everything internally validated, we expanded access to raw materials, especially cedar honey, which has only 1 annual harvest with a window of approximately 45 days. And we are releasing a small batch for those watching right now. The next batch in 6 to 8 months. But God brought you here now, and you will be rewarded with bottles delivered to your door in 3 to 5 days. Important. Results can be fast, but restoration is treatment, not a quick fix. Our minimum protocol for deep cadmium cleansing and neural consolidation is 90 days, 3 bottles. Full shielding, the kind that restores and protects the future, is the 180-day protocol. 6 bottles. Stopping halfway is like putting out only half a fire. You must go all the way. You can keep spending fortunes on placebos or protocols that only mask symptoms. Or you can do what thousands have done, attack the root cause. When we priced Memocept, the fair value was $299 per bottle, especially compared to the real cost of not acting. Reference drugs costing up to $26,500 per year with modest benefits and serious risks. Care clinics easily costing $100,000 per year, a financial drain, lost income, a child or spouse giving up work to become a caregiver, hidden costs like home adaptations, weekend caregivers, alarms, emotional cost, love being replaced by exhaustion and grief. Compared to that, a one-time investment in your independence and dignity is the smartest decision. Thanks to philanthropic and operational partnerships, we cut out intermediaries and reduced the cost today to $98 per bottle. And you can get up to 3 bottles free in the shielding package. See, this will be my personal gift to you. If you made it this far in the video, it's because you're truly seeking a solution. And I can say with clinical conviction, there is no more complete, natural, and effective protocol today than Memocept. Today, the kit with 6 bottles, which corresponds to the full 180-day treatment, would cost $588. But I made sure to go further. I personally decided to cover half the cost for the first people who begin treatment today. This condition, however, is limited to the first 50 kits of 6 bottles. That's why we restrict it to 1 kit per order to ensure fair access. That's right, 3 of your 6 bottles will be on me. Now pay close attention. The kit with 6 bottles will appear below. If the price shown is $294, it means you're still among the first and there's still time. But if $588 appears, it means the promotional kits are already sold out. Choose your complete kit below and begin your cognitive restoration with the full force of 180 days of treatment. This unique opportunity will not be repeated. It is your chance to get the full treatment without interruptions at half the price. Now, maybe you're in the early stages, just occasional forgetfulness, brain fog, or difficulty focusing. If that's your case, you can choose the 3-bottle Memocept kit, which covers the minimum 90-day protocol. You pay for 2 bottles and receive the 3rd completely free. It's not as robust as the full 6-bottle protocol, but it's still an excellent option to shield your mind, especially if symptoms are mild or recent. And regardless of which kit you choose, you are 100% protected. We offer a full 180-day guarantee. That's right, you can complete the entire treatment, use all the bottles, observe the results, and if you don't notice mental clarity, renewed focus, and real memory improvement, just send an email to the address on the Memocept label and we will refund 100% of your investment immediately, no questions asked. But attention, these special conditions are being offered only today and only while stocks of this batch last. Our commitment is to the restoration of cognitive health. That's why we eliminated middlemen, reduced margins, and brought the best price directly to you. When this batch runs out, the purchase buttons will be automatically deactivated until a new batch is produced. But due to the rarity of authentic cedar honey and the exclusive Memo lock encapsulation technology, this process takes at least 6 months. To be absolutely transparent, with high demand and a growing waiting list, it is likely that future batches will be directed primarily to those already in treatment. That's why, to encourage you to make this decision now, for your mind, your independence, your identity, we prepared an exclusive package. The first 20 people to secure the 6-bottle Memocept package will receive a private online consultation via Zoom with a senior physician from Brain Chemistry Labs to review your history and optimize your protocol results. Entry into a charitable raffle distributing over $1 million in total, also managed by Brain Chemistry Labs. A physical copy of the 30-day Memocept plan with practical guidance signed by the research team, sent along with your bottles. The mini video course, the 5 Sharp Mind Rituals, with simple exercises to strengthen new neural connections and accelerate Memocept's effects even further. But as I mentioned, this is valid only for the first 20 people who secure the 6-bottle package. And yes, Your order today is a one-time payment. No hidden subscriptions, no automatic renewals. We are against such practices and guarantee full transparency. And there's more. To ensure nothing stops you from regaining control of your mind, today you won't pay for shipping. Whether you choose the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package, shipping is 100% free. Everything is ready to begin. Choose your package below and start now. So select your Memocept kit below. Consider this the smallest yet most powerful investment you can make in yourself and your future independence. The original Memocept is available only and exclusively on this page. It is not for sale anywhere else on the internet, not on Amazon, not in pharmacies or natural product stores. I made sure to eliminate all intermediaries so you can have direct access to the original formula at the best possible price without abusive margins. This is your only chance to obtain this exclusive formula designed to eliminate cadmium poison and rebuild your neural bridges, attacking the root cause of memory loss. Here is exactly what you need to do to complete your order safely. Right below this video, you will see the Memocept kit options. Once you click, you'll be redirected to our 100% secure payment page. This page is managed by CartPanda, one of the largest and most trusted online payment processors in the world, using the same encryption and security system as major international banks like JP Morgan. Your information is completely protected. Now, to complete your order, just follow these simple steps. Scroll down the page, fill in your full name, phone, and email. Enter the address where you want to receive your Memocept kit. Enter your payment details. Click Buy Now, and that's it. Our team here in the United States will prepare your shipment immediately, and you'll receive it at your door within 3 to 5 business days within the US. Now, we've reached the truth. The only question that really matters, do you want to solve this problem for good or not? If your answer is a visceral yes, then the rest are just details I've already solved for you. That's why your decision today is protected by our ironclad 180-day guarantee. Yes, a full 6 months. 6 months for you to feel Memocept working in harmony with your brain, attacking the true cause of forgetfulness, and giving back the only thing that matters, your identity. Does that sound fair? See, I know the science behind this formula. I've seen the clinical data. I've seen the results. I've seen the lives Dr. Cox has impacted. And that's why I decided to extend this guarantee personally. If I didn't deeply believe that Memocept could rewrite your story, I would never associate my name with it. But I believe because I've already seen it happen. In just a few weeks, you will feel the clarity, the speed of thought, the freedom of no longer being a prisoner of your own mind. And when that happens, you will understand that feeling is priceless. That's why I say to you with total confidence, go ahead. The risk is mine. The victory is rightfully yours. Don't just believe me, believe Robert, a 68-year-old grandfather from Florida.
When the vials arrived, my grandson looked at me with pity and said, "Grandpa, another magic pill? That crushed me." On impulse, I requested a refund that same day. Less than an hour later, I received an email. "Your refund has been processed. Please keep the product as a gift from us." I was shocked by their trust. I decided to give it a real chance. Today, I'm in my 3rd week, and the clarity is unbelievable. I even remembered the plot of a book I read months ago. I'm recording this just to say I want to return the refund and buy more, because Memocept is amazing.
Robert's story could be yours, but time is your enemy. Every second you hesitate is another second that cadmium continues its silent work, corroding your memories. You have been kept in the dark by a system that profits from your condition, but never from your cure. They told you decline is normal. It's a convenient lie for them, and a prison sentence for you. Some get used to the cell. With all due respect, if that's your case, then this is not your time. But if you are ready to kick the door open and claim your mind back, the choice has already been made. Thousands of people are already on the other side, on the path to freedom. The question is, will you join them or will you stay behind in the darkness? because if you let this page slip away, you already know the script that awaits you. The panic of forgetting your grandchild's face, the shame of getting lost on your own street, the look of exhaustion and grief in your spouse's eyes, the rocking chair in silence while life passes by, independence stolen day after day until the final heartbreaking decision, the clinic, the institution, social death arriving before the physical one. There is this path, the path that begins with a yes in this very second. Imagine waking up with clarity, a mind light, sharp, present. Imagine yourself at the next family dinner, not just present, but leading the conversation, telling a story from your youth with details that shock everyone. Seeing pride replace pity in your children's eyes. Imagine your doctor's surprise when he sees your cognitive tests improving after he said it was impossible. Imagine grabbing the car keys and saying, "I'm driving today." Freedom, dignity, life back in your hands. These two futures are real. They already exist. And what decides which one will be yours is the click you make or don't make at this very moment. Your Memocept kit is here, reserved, waiting for you. What you are deciding is not a purchase. It is an act of rescue. Rescue of your identity, your dignity, your place in the world. Choose the 6-bottle kit right now, here below. It is a one-time payment, safe and risk-free. Your freedom is one click away. Not tomorrow, not later, it's now. Click the button below and take the most important step of your life. I'll be here waiting to celebrate your victory with you. Congratulations on your decision for a new life.